Hey, Planeswalkers, Mythras here. Hope you're doing well and staying safe. Welcome, my friends, to today's episode of Top Deck. We are covering an Azorius Fliers deck, one that is a Platinum to Mythic 6+ win deck here. Very excited about having the ability to go over the top. It's been a while since we've covered one of these. We got a couple new pieces from Kaldheim here, and very excited to circle back on those. So before we get started, please feel free to navigate down below to the timestamps where we will cover the deck list strategy and objective. We'll drill into the sideboarding for you for best of 3. We're going to play some competitive Magic in both best of 1 and best of 3 here today, and then we'll close out with where this may sit in the meta, my friends. So very excited about this. Appreciate your support as always. Flip me a like if you enjoyed today's video. Also feel free to navigate down below. Deck list is also down there for you. On top of that, other great ways to support the channel, my friends. So let's go ahead and hop into it, or fly into it here, with this Azorius Fliers deck. So right off the bat, what we do have going on here is obviously everything revolves around the flying component. Now, what I do like about this deck is we do have some ability to counter. We also have some ability to slow down our opponents with things like Brazen Barber or tying them down with Bashing Light. And then additionally, I'm a huge fan of Staggering Insight, the ability to deal damage, gain that life. Additionally, against decks like mono red, aggro is going to be huge for us, and get those card draw advantages. And then on top of that, Skycat Sovereign is a huge linchpin of this deck, just because of the fact that it ramps with the other flyers that you have and those things. And then the other pieces here, in terms of ramping your flyers, as well as having ability to help protect your flyers as well here. So very cool. On the top end, we got a really nice one with Baneslayer. So really this deck is kind of aggro-y because we do have the 1-drop slot and the 2s obviously, but a lot more is going to happen to the 2-drop slot, and then we get into some of our bigger flyers, and some of those other protection capabilities for the deck here today, my friends. So good transition now for us to talk about the sideboard. So that was the strategy objective of the deck. Obviously going over the top, ramping those flyers and playing on curve is going to be crucial, and certainly that turn 2. And then we'll break the sideboard down into 3 pieces today: aggro, mid-range, and late game. We'll talk about those, and how those things may get affected here, with what we have going on in the sideboard. So first off, when we talk about aggro, we mentioned the mono red. We have mono white aggro still around. We also have Boros aggro, seeing a lot more of that right now, because of the season reset. And then additionally, you might run into things like the Naya aggro versions, and a couple of other things there as well. So with that, what you're primarily going to focus on, in my opinion, I would pull the curve down. I would flip in a Fairy Godmother. You may want to even consider Light of Hope, just to help keep your guys bigger, per se. Just something I would consider. And then also on top of that, having Baneslayer Angel on the top end is nice, but you could always flip something out to go here, or Frogify to make some of these creatures bigger, and play around a couple of things. So a lot of things that you can do. You're not really necessarily, in my opinion, going to have to tap creatures down, but this does help against aggro decks. So that's a call out. Banishing Light's going to be big against some of the bigger creatures, or Cleave and those kinds of things. So lots of things that you can obviously move around and play up, in terms of the best of 1. And then what I would do, again, like I mentioned, I would pull this curve down and really focus heavily on building that board state, and some of the other things that you may want to play around here. Jubilant Skybonder is something that I would pull out against a creature-based deck. Ardenvale isn't terrible, but then again, you still got Brazen Barber, or you can push back on the Banishing Lights, and really focus on that creature game yourself. Now then we'll move into the mid-range. So some of those bridge decks are things like Gruul aggro. We got the Gruul food now showing up. We got traditional food. We got Rakdos Sack. We got Jund Sack. We also have other creature-based decks like the Naya Fury decks. We have Toski, and also Adventures. So several things in that space. Lots of kind of crowded fields starting to appear in that mid-range space, so we'll keep an eye on that one. We did talk about that a little bit in the yesterday's Friday night meta that you guys can absolutely tune into as well. So in that one, what we're going to do is we're going to break it into two pieces. Again, creature base will kind of follow that traditional path. The non-creature base, we're going to have to focus on more counter magic or graveyard play. So you might want to consider Tormod's Crypt, or things again like Frogify if you need to play around something, or negate. And I apologize, Frogify you can certainly play on your opponent's creatures. So it depends on what you want to do there. So pay attention to those. Negate, and then also Starnheim Unleashed isn't a bad one to kind of towards that top end. So you might want to move those in, those 6 things that you can move out if you can't hit creatures. Things like Brazen Borrower, Arden Veil Tactician is one. Also Banishing Light's a good consideration. So again, we're pulling that curve forward, and we're going to be playing a little bit more counter magic and be cognizant of the graveyard. Then as we transition out of that, and go towards the late game, we're going to hit the Ultimatum decks. So those are the Team Returns, also Sultai. Now there's been a little bit of a I'll say a pullback in the Sultai Ultimatum deck, so just pay attention to that. We covered that a little bit in the meta, but again, reset for the season, kind of something to just be cognizant of and not surprised, but it will continue to develop here as we move into Strixhaven. Then we also have the Doom decks, obviously continuing to be a player in the space, 4-color, 3-color Esper, other ones as well that I've seen. And then additionally, we got your typical kind of Dimmer control deck or Snow Dimmer decks, and some of those Azorius ones or the Fabled decks. There again, we'll follow that similar path. We might need to pull in the Light of Hope for the Doom decks. Also, Negate is going to be a big one, and I would also consider Starnheim Unleashed here, or Starnheim. And then Tormod's Crypt, if we need to drain the graveyard against something like an Esper Doom deck. So all good things to remember. And then what I would do here is potentially pull that Baneslayer out, and then again evaluate some of these other things. Now, having this on the top end as a one-of isn't terrible, but things to consider depending on what you're playing. This is going to help you against those Rakdos Sacrifice decks or Jund Sacs that are playing that Immerstrung Dragon as well, because it's got protection from demons and dragons. So pro tip there, don't forget. Anyway, with that said, Planeswalkers, this is our Azorius Fliers deck. We covered the main board, talked about strategy objective. We talked about how it's going to align here against aggro, mid-range, and late game. I am excited to go play some competitive Magic here for you today with this one. So we'll jump right into it and go play some best of one with this deck. A couple of things just to call out. We didn't cover the mana base too much, but it's certainly something you could optimize a little bit better. Also, you can optimize the board based off of kind of your play style. So what I would consider on the lands, some of the modal lands for sure, and then additionally that Kaldheim lands here as well. I'm guessing they didn't run it because they didn't have all the craft, but those are certainly some considerations that you're going to want to make here. So our opponents is going to go first. We got counter magic. I might actually try this. It's still a little bit slow, but we can play this and get both ones that we need. All right, so this might be a rogues deck. That we will counter. So here's one of these guys like we talked about. So we may not hard cast Brazen Borrower, by the way. Or sorry, play it. I might hard cast it. We'll see if we can sneak it in. Because ideally, I want to get a Staggering Insight stacked on this guy. It's a weird play. Certainly a weird play. And for what they're probably thinking, just as much. Now, I may do two things here. I think we do play this. Now, I need to keep this Injury in case they try and kill me. So we'll go from there. Now we could also Banishing Light here. But I'll put that on him. So we got a first striker. Oh, not enough. So we can wait. We'll see what they pull here. They got to deal the damage, though. So I'm actually going to block. If we can get the Banishing Light on, we're going to absolutely do a number on this guy. We'll try it. Now, what else would be good in this one here? Would be the 2-drop enchantments. Here we go. I gotta keep that open though. I gotta keep Sinjir's Shelter available. We'll see if we can get this on the board. So I need a kill spell on this, or a mutate. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. That's gonna wipe my board. That's gonna be a good game for us. Now they're way ahead. Now they're way, way ahead. And very, very unfortunate. Very unfortunate there. So this is where draw would be really nice as well. All right, let's see what we can do. If they kill it, or if they don't kill it. All right, let's see if we can get damage in here. All right, that's game, my friends. We'll go to the next one. So we had a chance, blew our board out. Not much we could do, and it happens. So very, very fun match, though, nonetheless. Let's go on to the next one here. So again, a couple things that you could certainly tweak with this deck to make it a little bit more effective there. Let's flip that one over. Oh, 500. All right, next best of one deck here, or match. El Saber. Let's see what we can do. So now we don't have our blue, and our opponent's going first again. Do we have a turn 2? We don't have a turn 2, so we need a mulligan. So this we can keep. I'm gonna go this, and I'll dump this guy. All right, so we want to do this first. We can go with the Raptor again. We don't have... I'm going to get rid of that because we don't have that life gain. If we get to the life gain, we'll be okay. So depending on what they play here, we'll do that to start. Oh no, they have cleave. They certainly have cleave. Oh no. Really, really unfortunate run. We are dead next turn. There's nothing we're going to be able to do here. I mean, I could cast this guy. And we can give it protection. But that's not going to do it. We can block here. And we're done. Bummer. Just not working out for us today. Let's go on to our next best of one, my friends. However, we have been on the draw every match. Draw every match, which doesn't help this deck. Certainly, we'd like to be on the play and hit a nice curve. So we'll see, but that's always hopeful wishing there when it comes to Magic. So, all right, let's see here. We go first. We don't have an opportunity. If we hit, we're gonna mulligan. There we go. This works. We can try this one. I'm going to try and play Fairy Vandal first. Probably hitting our Rogue's deck here, which is going to be a tough one for us. We'll do this because they can still counter on the 2 spot there. So it does open me up for getting killed. If that happens, we're going to run into a problem. But again, it's better than getting countered with the Drown Lock. Yeah, we figured that was coming. That's okay. There we go. That is what we needed. So now we can do this. And we'll go 1 on it. Now, hopefully they don't have 2 of those. If they do, we're going to run into a problem. There it comes. They're clicking, so it means we're dead. Unless they don't know what Staggering Insight does. There's the Drawn Lock. I told you they had it. So now we're in a really bad spot. We have no creatures. There we go. We'll try it again. Now, I think I could attach it to their guy, but we're not going to do that. Oh, no. There goes our creatures. World of hurt and pain. Oh, so much pain. Let's just do it. We're gonna attach it to their guys. We're gonna have fun with this one at least. Oh, they're gonna get all the draws. Look at that. Nothing good anyway. See, we are running a really bad best of 1 and bad luck beatdown. That's okay. We're okay with that. We hit the top 1200, so I'm not gonna complain. That is how Magic goes. Ups and downs, and we live with that. So, on to our best of 3. So, traditional standard ranked again. So, I did this Team Returns one for you guys on Twitch. You can go check that out. Lots of fun decks that we've done here. Let's go ahead with our Azorius Fliers deck for our best of 3 today. So, if you're tuning in at this point, we've absolutely not had a good run in best of 1 today. So deck could certainly be a little bit tighter. We'll see how it does in best of 3 because this was a best of 3 deck. So we do have Baneslayer here. Opponent's going first. I'm actually going to try it. So we'll see. We'll have some protection. We'll have some life gain and those things here. But we'll take a look and understand how this is going today. Let's get that down because we're not going to need that because it's not a creature-based deck. So we talked about Sultai Ultimatum early, and that's exactly what we hit, which is kind of funny. Kind of funny, my friends. Ouch. Ouch. We'll go for it. No protection here. No protection here. Now, we do have some counters, which is going to be helpful in this deck. They're not really going to pull anything back, so we have that too. That we can keep in mind. There you go. That is the right play. Now we have Sinjuri Shelter, so we can protect our stuff. Oh, brutal. Verdict's gonna blow us out. So Baneslayer is the question here. Are we gonna be able to keep it alive? I don't know. I don't know. GOK, let's see what we can do here. 3 or more planes. We don't have that either. No. Turn or counter? I don't know. We'll find out. Was a turn. What are we gonna get here? GOK, let's see. We'll try and get this guy on the board. Do they kill him? Is the question. Ooh. Now we still have the Sinjuri Shelter. That might get countered though. Good news is we still get to keep our Baneslayer. Only good news. Dun, dun, dun. We'll get rid of that. We have 2. We got 1. We'll see. There we go. Ugh. Need 1 more land. We're practically completely locked in here. Death by 1/1 Flyers. And we're flying Flyers ourselves. And we don't have a counter. Alright, we're gonna go to the next match. Bummer. Let's move that curve up. That's what we're gonna do. So, we're gonna move much faster. We're gonna grab these. We'll grab these. We'll grab these. We'll grab these. I'm gonna drop the Banishing Lights. Drop those guys. Brazen Borrower is not gonna be as helpful. What else do we got here? Counters are still good. These are still good. Baneslayer. I feel like we dropped the Baneslayer, so. All right, here's what we're going. Real fast. Real fast, hopefully. We'll see. This deck has not ran well for us today. Not one bit. That's okay. We haven't been shuttled for a while. It's only bound to happen. We can keep this. Lots of counter magic. Keep that guy. We'll try it. If we can keep this on the board, we'll be okay. I'm gonna guess they're probably gonna be able to kill it though, because they have a lot of kill spells. If not, we'll be set up okay with the negates and the lofty denials for at least a couple turns. So we'll see. It's probably gonna get removed. We could have went the Raptor too. Went that route, but all right, here we go. So we will go with what are you gonna do, my friend? Sides Robus. I think we go with this. And then we wait. Not gonna counter that. So again, mana base you could certainly play with a little bit differently. This one I will counter. Are they gonna slip that? Ooh, ooh. That was important. That was important to them. All right. If we can keep this on the board. We need some more counters though. We're gonna run into a problem. So 6, 7. We can go 8, 9 next turn. Don't have lethal yet. We could use 1 counter. Uh-oh. There's El Ruin. Ooh, here we go. It's a lot, though. I don't know if we're going to be able to get through. We're still in it. Is it black? There we go. Now runes. No, they don't. Now they have enough blue. There it is. Now they have enough blue. Oh man, look at that ramp. Look at that ramp. So now they'll cast Yorion, and we're done. All right, we're out of here. Bummer. Not a winner chicken dinner today. So good thing we played the deck so that you guys can get a good look at this one. So certainly needs some adjustment for sure in the main board. We'll go talk about this here in a second. So let's go look at this. Really like the concept still. I've always been a big fan of Azorius Fliers, but just today's one did not work well. I would probably move the curve up like we talked about. Think about doing some other things, have some other counter spells in there to make it a little bit more efficient and a viable deck. And then obviously the mana base, like we said, needs to be reworked. This was a killer card. I would put more of those in there. I would also consider, like we talked about, some of those other late game modal lands as well to really help solidify some of these things. Wouldn't be bad actually even considering going the snow route and throwing in 1 or 2 of the Faceless Havens, or you could go the Crawling Barrens routes, which is something that I like too. I think Banishing Light to me is a sideboard card to start, and then I would get probably at least to 6 1-drops here because this deck is really heavy in this space, and we have to be able to protect kind of that ramp, whether you're first or you're second on the draw there. So in terms of today, best of 1, we got Crush 0-3, best of 3, we went 0-2, we got stuffed, absolutely stuffed. So where does that put this deck in the meta? Well, with that, I think it's probably a tier 3 deck, my friend. So both in best of 1 and best of 3. You know, where it sits in that is probably dependent of the version that you're running, but it just was not a strong showing, which is too bad. I'm always really excited about Azorius Fliers. There are some other cards though that I would certainly throw in this or consider in terms of tuning it. The 3-drop enchantment where you can grab from the sideboard. You could always think about the Fae of Wishes as well, pull some things in, particularly in a best of 1. I think you could shore up some of these items and it could be much stronger. So there are a lot of considerations for this one that I think you could make, and I know that I've kind of spewed enough on that there from a creativity standpoint, but nonetheless, this was a Platinum to Mythic 6+ win deck. I was not successful with it. Doesn't mean that it wasn't successful, but just given the play style, given where the meta is at and where this one kind of resides, that's where I think is a healthy spot there in the tier 3. So with that, Planeswalkers, if you do have questions or comments, as always, please let me know. Feel free to hop in the Discord server. Information's down in the details, deck list down there for you too. On top of that, great way to support the channel. I appreciate your support always. We have a great community, so thank you, my friends. And until next time, I got a lot of stuff coming your way. Stay tuned, and we'll see you soon. Mythras out.